Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. First of all, thank you for those that have donated to the channel. I see all the donations that come in. I'm unable to reply to them because PayPal doesn't allow me, doesn't share with me your email address. But I see them, and I do have this gratitude, huge gratitude, that people would donate in the way that they do. Also, to those that comment, I'm grateful for that as well. I do want to remind anyone who's posting links to their personal channel that generally I don't allow that. My comment thread isn't an arena for you to promote your channel. Just do good videos and share them, on your Facebook page, and you know the drill. Okay, so thank you also for those that commented on my cemetery video, Pioneer Cemetery video. I was in a Pioneer Cemetery. I was also paying respects to Aboriginal elders, because whenever we film or there's a major event or any sort of event, if you are respectful, you do pay respects to the First Nations people and the tribe or the clan that on whose land you walk. And of course, in this case, it was the Wiradjuri people. So no, I wasn't confused. I was in a Pioneer Cemetery with early colonials, and because I was filming, I wanted to also bring that balance in and pay respect to not only to the pioneers' families, who many who perished very young, but also to the Wiradjuri peoples. So, okay, it's very important that we do that. As Australians, very important that we pay our respects to our Indigenous, our Aboriginal people. Okay, so let's get started. I want to look at the US in November. It's particularly volatile over there. We've got the ex-president, fundraising like blazes, really. And very full steam ahead. He hasn't declared his candidacy yet, and once he does, of course, then the money stream gets audited. So, it's typical ex-president behaviour. Of course, he's got multiple investigations that he's facing, and multiple congressional inquiries as well. It's criminal and congressional. So, having said that, his base, it continues. It continues. And if you haven't seen our Pluto return reading with Dr. Victoria Scobo, please head over and have a look. Or it's on my channel. It's on her channel. If you haven't seen it, please give it a watch, because it's pretty heavy, but it's also hopeful as well. And we mustn't lose sight of that. So US in November. Then I want to head over and look at the Climate Change Summit in Glasgow that's going on right now. Previous readings has indicated that there'll be a lot of talk, but it's what happens after that that is very concerning. My original reading, indicated a lot of people will walk the talk, will talk the talk, but do they walk the talk? Of course, you have short election cycles, 3-4 year cycles. Another government comes in and everything goes out the window, as we saw with the ex-president who took America out of the Paris Accord. So we'll look at the Climate Change Summit in Glasgow and see if there's going to be any real action there. It's really up to the voter now to determine if you want climate change action. You vote for the parties who are going to take that action. Then I want to look at the Virginia race. We'll check in with that. I have done a reading on that. It's very hard from call, if that's what the reading indicated. It's a hard battle and a very close battle, but my feeling was that the Democratic candidate would prevail and become the governor, Terry McAuliffe of Virginia again. This would be his second tenure. All right, first to the US in November. Let's orientate ourselves. US in November. What is the underlying energy, please? in the US in November, this coming month, November 2021. We've got an eclipse later on in November, and then another one early in Sagittarius. And a new moon in Scorpio, all in November. So show me what is the underlying energy for the US in November. Okay, so we've got action. That's interesting. The 6 months reading that I did on the US president is well worth listening to again. I said he would have a win in October. I feel that was bringing everybody, disparate parties together to get behind a reduced reconciliation bill. Because the senators Manchin and Sinema were not going to sign on to anything, to high spending bills. And so it just kept getting cut down. And the more it was cut down, the progressives pulled away. Pelosi, Biden and Schumer are doing a good job to bring a consensus together amongst all sections of the Democratic Party. And I think there is a win there. I think that was the win. But we've got action here. Action for November. So taking action on something. I hope that's the passing of bills. Something coming to fruition. These are good cards. Action, fruition. And boundaries also. So what I see these overarching energies as indicating is that we're going to see legislative action in November, but we're also going to see justice playing out and a really clear view of the reform, political reform that needs to be actioned. So boundaries needing to be put into place. Again, if there's no real consequences for wrongdoing or breaking of laws, people will just do it again. So there's a win here, I think, in November as a result of Biden becoming directly involved and brokering a deal within his own party. Something's coming to fruition, but we're also going to see quite clearly in November where the boundaries need to be placed. Okay, so we've got balance. Things coming into balance is at the base of the pack. We know when something's out of balance, and we know what we've got to do to bring it back into balance. And this is sovereignty and resilience. Please have a look at the US Pluto return readings. Again, pretty heavy stuff. That's what this reading is indicating, but also hopeful at the same time. Let's move to Celtic Cross here. Cut down Celtic Cross. What are the conditions? What are the challenges, issues for the US in November? What are the challenges, issues for the US in November? I'm seeing Neptunian energy here. I'm actually seeing Poseidon with his trident. So this Neptunian energy is playing a part in, it's really showing where the illusion is. But it's also, the High Priestess kept coming up in that Pluto return. It's like, people are connecting at that higher level as well to, there's something at the soul level here that's going on for the collective. Knowing what to do and when to do it. And I think time is playing a critical part here. You might see things speeding up, unexpectedly speeding up. All right, US in November, please. Okay, so we've got the Three of Pentacles and the Death card. Something around dark money and the Death card, which is ending. Also working, three coming together. Perhaps that might indicate the filibuster might be put aside in November in some way. November, December. The Death card, the end of something, the end of working together. But that's for another reading. US in November. Okay, so we've got something coming to an inevitable closure. Judgment. The Judgment card is very karmic. And what's crossing that is the Ace of Pentacles, new start. So this money, dark money in politics, we may learn more about that in November. It's almost an inevitability. You know, if I look at these as signifier cards, it's like the money flow ends in some way. But the Ace of Pentacles, in a way, is crossing something coming to an inevitable closure, which means it's a battle. So we see very clearly where the boundaries need to be placed. The Eight of Swords. So there's a lot of anxiety in the US at the moment. Some of this is like, I mean, the Eight of Swords talks about being imprisoned in your own mind by your anxiety, not understanding you can step out of that prison at any time. I think the more that comes to light, the more truth that we learn, the more anxious people are about, you know, we're at a tipping point. But, and you know, the anxiety goes both ways. There is some anxiety around, you know, when the Democratic Party's in power, the Republicans get anxious. I'm not talking about the ex-president's base. I'm talking about Republicans, because the value system is different, isn't it? So different. So there's all sorts of anxieties, and most of these people can't see beyond, because if they did, they could easily get out of that. You know, it's a huge step, and it's not a huge step to go from conflict to cooperation. You would have experienced that in your own lives. So we have the Tower. This is January the 6th. I feel it keeps coming up. The Tower moment, really a culmination of the last 4 years when the Capitol building was ransacked by marauding crowds, insurrectionists. That's in the past though, so that I can't underestimate how difficult that was to witness, for Americans to witness that. In the sky, yeah, we've got the Princess of Swords. So there's some kind of truth emerging here in November. I think about January the 6th. Now, some of you have asked me whether or not Trump will be successful in the courts regarding trying to assert executive privilege over those documents, call records, visitors' logs around January the 6th. Whether he'd be successful, no, I don't think he will. I think the courts actually do find that the executive privilege resides with the current president. That's just my intuition on it. I hope I'm right. This is all slated, I think, for November the 4th. I think it's the court case, and then November the 12th, there's the deadline then for the documents to be handed over. I think they're going to be handed over. Princess of Cups, absolutely. So we get some kind of, look, she's sitting on her cup. So we've got something being revealed. So my intuition is correct, I think, around that. Five of Swords is abuse of power. That's in the present, you know, and this is why that people are so anxious, because they keep seeing this as more comes to light, and they keep saying, well, you know, why aren't these people locked up? Three of Cups, we've got people coming together, circles of support. This is the January 6th. This is what will dominate November, along with some action being taken, coming to fruition. So that reconciliation bill definitely, I think, goes through. Well, not definitely, I can't say for sure, but I think it does in some form. I think Manchin and Sinema get on board. That's where I feel that action is, but I do feel that the illumination, the truth emerging, the surprise, the bombshells, that's around January the 6th. Who supported who? We will learn about who was supporting this insurrection. Hopes and fears, the Hanged Man, suspended. Everything is suspended. I mean, that's a good state of affairs, isn't it? Or not a good state of affairs, but it's a good description for the state of affairs in the US. It's like we're watching something play out that we've never seen before. The outcome card is the government, the Hierophant, so the higher self. So it looks like there will be some kind of breakthrough with that January the 6th committee. Absolutely. Go back and look at the US Pluto return. You know, I've time-stamped everything, so you'll be able to see that while it's heavy, it's still hopeful. And that's what these cards are telling me. The lies are going to emerge, the Seven of Swords. So the government's going to be successful in exposing the lies and the abuse of power, and who supported that, who supported what. So we've got the Six of Swords. There is some kind of movement out of immediate trouble. So anyone who's feeling like that, these cards certainly are indicating that there is a movement forward. And we've got the Empress card and the Princess of Wands. Some information could also emerge in November about Russia overseas. I mean, that is my card for Russia. The Princess of Wands brings forward some sort of information. The Six of Swords moving out of that hangman state, that anxiety state. So I think we've got movement forward at a number of levels in November, both congressionally, at least with one bill. I'll read on the voting rights and the filibuster separately, but I do feel there's a movement forward on legislation, one bill at least. I do feel that the action in terms of illumination and truth emerging about abuse of power will come like bombshells in November. Let's move on to COP, which stands for COP26, the United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties. Okay, so we've got a lot of states, a lot of countries making commitments. Are they going to come to anything? So COP26, COP26, Climate Change Summit in Glasgow. Is it going to produce any mitigation of the climate change emergency? Is this climate change summit going to produce any mitigation of the climate change emergency? Are we going to get progress on climate change action? Some people are putting this, I'm just seeing someone putting a sword down. It's like the Holy Grail in a way. It shouldn't be this hard. The Five of Wands, you know, people are not agreeing. They're trying to put obstacles and challenges up to this. The leaders that are in the fossil fuel, you know, industry's pockets. Saudi Arabia relies on oil sales. I don't even think Russia and China are there. Australia's trying to throw spanners in the works as well. Our energy minister is there to try and talk up investing in Australian coal at the climate change summit. Go figure. We have an election coming up. If you want change, vote for the Australian Labor Party. Okay, now I'm pleased to see this card. What is crossing this is the Star card. So it's not hopeless. Even though there'll be some argy-bargy, it's not a hopeless situation. Two of Swords. We're at a critical point. These cards are so on point, aren't they? We have very heavy decisions to be made. We have burdens to carry, and really we have no choice. You know, you don't have to be... sorry, I'll just send a message to... I've got someone upstairs and I just need them to be quiet because I'm filming. Be quiet. Okay. Let's hope. All right, so we've got Two of Swords. We've got heavy decisions to be made. In the past, we've had no movement forward. It's like everything has been suspended. So much talk, no action, no action. But that's in the past. That's in the past. Let's take a close look at these cards. What is in the sky? Six of Wands. Okay, so somebody is going to pull off some sort of victory, or that is the potential. Okay, it's not the actual, it's the potential. Let's see what's in the immediate future. New starts. Okay, I'm thinking, I'm going to pull a full Celtic cross, Wheel of Fortune, change, Jupiter in Aquarius. And this is what I meant when at the beginning of this video, when I said there's some kind of change going on at the collective level. The Wheel of Fortune, things changing. There's potential for... Okay, so there's potential for change, but however, countries are considering how that's going to affect their economies. This is somebody that has to decide which ship to bring in. The other ship heads off to the rocks. And so it's also manipulation as well, can be manipulation. So high stakes. We've got the Hierophant, which is lovely. That was in the US card as well. There's going to, in the hopes and fears, that governments will prevail, that governments will take the high road, will take the right road. We'll see, this person is all seeing what is down the track and what happens if we don't act. Yeah, there's going to be a deal. There's going to be a lot of argy-bargy. There's going to be manipulation as well. But the Two of Cups talks about a commitment. So the potential is for victory. This is going to be pulled off by the leaders there. The Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is work, skilled leaders. And the Sun card. Yeah, these are beautiful outcome cards. I'm so pleased I did this reading because I was feeling quite hopeless. There's potential for a commitment to come out of COP or COP26. The base of the pack. Why? Because the Seven of Cups talks about death. They could be hearing information around what the climate change will do. You know, this is, you know, when we lose something, it's deep loss. And the Five of Cups is loss again. Look at all these cups at the base of the pack. The Queen of Pentacles, the loss of abundance. They're going to be hearing in very stark terms, in the terms that they understand, monetary terms, exactly what will occur with economies if they don't act. And we've got our High Priestess again. I know that there's stuff going on at the collective level, you know, at a spiritual kind of level, at a soul level, at a collective soul level. So I'm pleased to have done that reading. Now, I'm not without hope that they will walk away with some sort of commitment, despite all the argy-bargies, and that will be to this strong leadership, I guess, from the US, the UK, the EU. So I'm pleased to see that. All right, Virginia, is Terry McAuliffe. Very tough race. I'm just hearing, it's like somebody's just like walking uphill. It's a really tough and close call here. McAuliffe. Okay, I just want to know, will the Democratic Party be successful in Virginia? Will the Democratic Party win the governor's race? So we've got Justice here. That's a good card to come out. Justice for the Five of Wands. Again, McAuliffe, if McAuliffe wins, it's a rebuke of Trump and Trumpian politics, because his opponent, Terry Youngkin, I think not Terry Youngkin, whatever his first name is very much identified with Trump. He's made that part of his platform. I think even Trump is holding some kind of rally there. Virginia. Will the Democratic Party win the Virginia governorship? There could be cause for celebration. Nine of Wands, yeah. Battle-weary, boundaries. It's a good way to describe that race. Two of Pentacles, very close. Very, very, very close. These are cards that say it's a difficult race to call, but there's also boundaries. People have to decide, even if they're not in agreement with the current US president. I'm talking about swinging independent type voters. They need to decide about the boundaries they need to put up against this Trumpian movement. The Empress card, abundance, Russia coming into the frame again, sovereignty. Big questions around sovereignty and whether the Republicans can guarantee or can bring forward any sort of sovereignty for the US given their foreign connections. Abuse of power in the past, Five of Swords. This is a referendum. This is a referendum on Trump. The Moon card, things coming to the surface. The Ace of Pentacles, so that's in the immediate future. There, a new start. The Moon, secrets emerging. Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters. The Star card, yes, I'm pleased to see this. So, despite the situation, there is this hope. Hope. The Fool in the Hopes and Fears card, new starts, and the Queen of Pentacles. They're going to vote for stability. Oh, the King of Pentacles. That's not what I wanted to see. But I also see the Democratic card. My Four of Wands is for the Democratic Party. So I have Queen of Pentacles, stability of the economy, stability of the country, clarified by the King of Pentacles, businesses, but this is also my card for Trump. But I've also got the Democratic Party there. People are going to vote for the candidate that will deliver them stability. I'm going to draw at the base of the pack is the Hermit card. A lot of reflection and into introspection here. I'm going to draw who is this Queen of Pentacles for. Economic stability, national security, given that the Empress card came up there. The Moon card, things coming to the surface. A lot of emotion here as well. Is this Queen of Pentacles? It is a yes card. Is this for Terry McAuliffe? Yeah, the Chariot is another card, another yes card. The Hierophant is another yes card. Queen of Pentacles twice. So Spirit's confirming to me that there's the Seven of Wands defending himself. Yeah, it's been a battle for Terry McAuliffe. I asked for clarification, given I drew both the Republican and the Democratic Party card, and this is what I've pulled, and I said, is this Terry McAuliffe's win? And I got those clarifications. You can see how difficult this race actually is. All right, that's enough. That's enough predictions. I hope I'm right. All right. I will be back again soon. Bye for now.